Kevin Kietzman is Uncanceled and back on Kansas City Radio. 10 to 11 a.m. on 95.7 FM KCMO Talk Radio.
I see America, my vision of it today, after this election. And that's why the name of this show became Uncanceled. I see America as post-cancel society, cancel culture, if you will, post-racist, and post so many of the isms that have been thrown at you and me and people like us, as we've just remained silent for 10 years. Well, the silence turned into a roar on November 5th. And the number of people now that will wear a Trump hat or a MAGA this or tell their friends they voted for Trump, or maybe it came up at your Thanksgiving Day table, the number of the people that do that now is probably 10 times as many as were comfortable doing that in 2016. It is incredible progress for America. We have people like Elon Musk to thank, who is a free speech warrior. Tucker Carlson, who's a free speech warrior. Joe Rogan, who's a free speech warrior. KCMO Talk Radio 95.7, which is a free speech warrior. We're going to say it. If you don't like what I have to say here, people won't listen. I don't expect a bunch of liberal politicians, liberal people to listen to this show every day, and I don't expect all the homers on sports radio to listen to this show. You can sit there and kiss the team's butts for your sweet seats and your nice press pass and the free meals and all the stuff that you got into sports for was to go to the game for free. Anybody in sports radio in this town that wants to do that, great. You're making your living. You're doing your thing. Kiss up to them, suck up to them, everything they want to do. That ain't happening here. I didn't do that on sports radio, and I'm not bringing that here. We're going to talk sports on this show. So there may be a little more sports here than you're accustomed to hearing on the station, but that's going to be okay. When I talk about sports, I will not be getting in the weeds with you. We won't be discussing backup guards or is there a punter out there in free agency. It won't be things like that. It will be things related to sports that are topical. And we'll get to this with Aziz Al-Jahir, a player for the Houston Texans, who is really in hot water today after nearly taking the head off of Trevor Lawrence, the quarterback of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And it was learned that on My Shoes, My Cleats weekend, he had Free Palestine cleats on when he did this. And it's become a very ugly thing. But that's the crossover between sports and life and politics and news. They're all intertwined. And that's really what we want this show to be. My goal is that you'll say, hey, I got to turn that on. I wonder what Kevin's going to say at the start of the show today. That would be awesome. I don't know that I can live up to that every day, but I'm certainly going to try. We're not going to avoid any topics here, and we hope that you'll be a big part of the show. I always want to hear from you. My number one reason for taking this gig was to get back to speaking with listeners, doing it live on the radio and interacting. I'll be fair, but I won't let you go forever. You better bring it good, or we'll cut it short. You know how the thing works. Many of you are regular callers. Many of you maybe would like to become newer callers. Don't be afraid to broach any subject. If I don't know something, I'm going to be the first guy that says, dude, you're out over my skis. I'm listening to Pete talk with a former police officer a couple minutes ago about the 21-foot rule with police officers. Above my pay grade. I've not taken police training. I don't know that. I've watched a lot of videos where it seems like that's about right. When they get within that distance of a cop, the cop starts shooting. And I'm all for that. And we will talk about all of these subjects. I can't wait to do it. It's going to be a very fun show. I am so pleased and proud to be part of the team. I'm personally thrilled to be back on live radio because I love it. And I've enjoyed coming in here, at times filling in for Pete and working with the crew. And they have been so kind to me in bringing me back to radio. I didn't think I'd ever come back to radio. I didn't. We started the podcast 4 years ago. It's been very successful. It's a business my wife and I started 4 years ago. And it's our little baby. It's our little 4-year-old bouncing baby boy. We treat it like a kid. We treat it as well as we treat our dog. The kids are grown and gone. We love our podcast, and we'll continue to do that every single day. If you have listened to the podcast in the past, we're going to keep doing that as well. But when they offered the opportunity to come in here and try this and do this and see how it goes, I'm all ears, and I can't wait.
You're listening to Kevin Kietzman Uncanceled on KCMO Talk Radio 95.7 FM.